Negotiations are continuing. They're robust, and certainly we hope that we can get an agreement before the deadline and avoid a strike. Right now, it's between the parties. It's between the auto companies and the UAW. That's the way the collective bargaining process works. They're at the bargaining table. They have to work out their issues. And certainly we all hope that they are able to come to an agreement.
So some are optimistic, but the two parties are still so far apart that I can't imagine how they get to a deal by Thursday night, which is the deadline. Let's discuss with Seth Harris, a former top labor policy advisor to President Biden and also a senior fellow at the Burns Center for Social Change. Seth, thanks so much for joining us. How do they get, you think, to an agreement? Because as far as I can see right now, the best offer from, Ford is like a 10% increase. And David Welch and our reporting out of Detroit shows that the unions are asking for more like a 46% increase.
Right. I'm with you. I think they have a very long way to go. I think it's right for the president and Senator Peters to be optimistic about the negotiations because they want to encourage the parties to get to a deal. But I think there's a substantial distance between the parties' positions. I think a strike is increasingly likely. That doesn't mean the negotiations are going to end. In fact, the opposite. I think a strike would cause the negotiations to accelerate. But there's just a fundamental disagreement between the parties about how this deal is going to end up being shaped.
Seth, we've had labor unrest in so many different industries in this past year, which means to a certain extent we have a playbook, if you will, at least from the employer side, from the industry side. If you look at the ways this could go for Detroit, I know you've even looked at some of the comparisons like what's happening in Hollywood versus, say, what happened recently with UPS. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, I think there are two models out there. The Teamsters UPS model, we saw the UPS really understand the moment, understand how unhappy their employees were, and understand that they had to make quite dramatic changes to their relationships with their employees. So we saw them make those changes, and ultimately we ended up with a deal that 83% of the UPS Teamsters were able to support. In Hollywood, every bit of evidence suggests us that the studios simply have no idea what's going on with their employees, and they are negotiating as though it were the late 1990s, early 2000s. They are trying to cut costs, they're trying to cut staff, they're trying to hold wages down, and their workers are extremely angry. The studios essentially forced the writers out on strike and then seemed to be totally surprised when the actors went out on strike, even though many of the issues like AI are exactly the same. So we have these two approaches that we've seen recently. The question for the automakers is, which road are they going to travel down?
Well, there's one similarity I can see instantly, Seth, is that the studios are not making money on streaming, right? I mean, a lot of people think it's a business model that simply won't work. And on the other hand, the unions in Hollywood think that the studios are making tens of billions of dollars on streaming. Now, in terms of the automakers, Ford has said it's going to lose $4.5 billion on EVs this year. And how are the unions poised to take money out of those losses?
Both the studios and the automakers have made huge profits over the last several years. And the problem in Hollywood is that the studios and the streamers and others are competing against one another, and they expected their workers to bear the brunt of that competition. And the workers have said, no, we're not going to pay the price for your bad business decision making. The automakers in Detroit and in the rest of our country are going to benefit tremendously from huge public investments in the transition to electric vehicles. Most recently, the Biden administration announced $13.5 billion to help American automakers transition their plant and equipment to electric vehicle and electric vehicle battery manufacture, as long as they keep those plants in their communities and they keep people at work. They've made a tremendous amount of money even this year. So I think that there's enough money to go around. There's certainly competition in both of those industries, and it's not exactly like the UPS model, but they certainly have the resources to cut a fair deal with their workers, and their workers are expecting it. Otherwise, I think we're going to have a prolonged strike.
All right, Seth, great to have you on. You shed some light on these issues, and I think a lot of people are confused. So when we get a voice of reason here, it helps a lot. Seth Harris of Northeastern University and the Burns Center for Social Change talking to us about these disputes.